Good evening. Welcome to the Arts in Heart, and it's official. The creative space comes to you every single Friday. Now, this time we got stories about the week and how it has been. That is, of course, in my own opinion of how things went. But before we do this, I have the lovely and very, very beautiful Nyanduko 254. Good evening, Nyanduko. Mambo vipi?
Mambo poa sana Eddie. How are you? How are you? Yaani
Eh,
naona leo code ni black. Code is black.
ninajua kitu unajua.
Unajua
I
huwa
know what you're trying to
hatupangi.
communicate.
Sisi huwa hatupangwingwi, tunakutananga na hii black on set, lakini yeah, that is the mood that we are in.
It shows
And
it
yes,
shows one thing. It shows one thing, Nyanduko, that you and I we are rhyming.
I can hear you clearly. I don't know if it's me or it is you. But yes, hatupangwingwi sisi. Where is Eshuchi tuchape kitu? You
You want
hatupangwingwi.
Eshuchi? It's all right. I know Eshuchi is your only one, but guess what? I told him to come in style. So Eshuchi, take it away.
How are you guys? I'm happy. There's one thing that has just been going through my mind all week long. And Ungwaba tunye
Hey.
shati mekukabako. Ungwa pia mshipi atilia shingo. Usiogope kukula jasho yako mama. Niko na saizi yangu yani 4x4. Katoto mali safi metalambiko. How are you guys?
Nice
Yes,
one.
yes. Hey.
Let us
Good
be
evening,
good one.
guys.
That's
Yes.
good. Hey, Mambo VP Eshuchi, how are you doing?
Niko salama kabisa. I am very well. Just in the breeze, I decided to break the color code over there, and I don't operate on normalcy. Sasa we can't all go black.
Haupangwingwi.
Sasa zipangwingwi, I have to stand out.
You know what?
Welcome
You know
guys
what?
to the
It's
show.
all right because at the end of the day, it's about your opinion. Wait, how has this week been for you, Nyanduko?
In my opinion, this has
Yeah.
been one of the busiest weeks. Yani kwanza huko kwa Edgar Obare, you know mimi I'm a very ardent student. Tumekuwa na chai Monday to Monday, hakupumui. So it's been a very busy week bana. A very very busy week. Eric Omondi has been doing Eric again. Mimi Eric sijui tutafikisha na wapi na huyu jamaa, but it has been a very interesting week and a lot has been going on. Eshuchi blue ticked me by the way. That's another thing that has been going on. Eshuchi ile blue tickia last week Monday situtoe sasa to move on.
Nilikubluti kweli ama nile unajua kuna wakati kuna watu wao wana force conversation imeisha lakini bado tu mse yako umepigia mtu ushago unamalizana simu na kwanza mbaba mluya hawezi kata simu asema ndio but Eric Omondi siku hizi anavaa tu costumes. That's the only observation I make of him. Havangi nguo za kawaida anymore. Ameamua ni costumes. Hizo ndo atatembelea akiruka juu ya gari ya polisi.
You know, there are people who are wondering, Eric Omondi, nini, what's happened with Eric Omondi? Let's take a look and see how the shenanigans went over. Well, that was how the build-up started, and I can hear these young people shouting they want 75%. Eshuchi, in this industry yenyu iko na shida gani ya 75%? What's happening there?
Sijui kitu wanasema kwanza I don't know. Okay, unajua bana, channels are important. It makes a whole joke of the whole thing if that's how we even going to champion for, unajua, rules and bills around playing Kenyan music. Yes, playing Kenyan music has been an issue for quite a while, and trust you me, it's legitimate. My only worry with Omondi's approach is I don't know if he's doing it for him or for everybody else, because I strongly feel there's nothing to do with the artists in that entire thing. Ako na agenda zake. Yes, we need a lot of airplay for Kenyan music, because honestly we don't get airplay. You listen to all our local stations and all that, and some countries have been deliberate enough to ensure that for you to actually for them to actually promote their music, they have bills that mandate radio stations and media houses and even clubs to actually play a significant chunk percentage of their own music. So I think that is what he is trying to do. But I am 100% in absolution. I disagree with this approach, because I think this is all for him.
But come on, guys, are you trying to say to me that the 75% is not existing? Because I know one of the prerequisites of setting up a media station, especially right now, it's you have to be feeding the audience with almost 75% of the content. Nyanduko?
Eli, nashindanga nikikwambia unafaa kwa ground, because sometimes the things you come and say here nashindwa. We listen to Niger music every day, Tanzanian music day in day out. So wewe na 75 yako, mimi sijui ulikuwa media house gani. But on the Eric story, me I'll just say with all due disrespect, Eric is like this, like a soldier who goes to war and then comes back and the wife has a 10-day-old baby and he's all emotional about it. He has done nothing. It is not his work and he knows, but he's very excited about it. Eric is just a cloud chaser. I say this every other day on this show. Eric is doing Eric. It is just him trying to remain relevant, and the agenda he's pushing is actually it's a good thing. It is the channel that is wanting. Yani, why would musicians with people with big names, I'm not saying Eric is not a big name, I respect him as a brand, but why would Eric fight for the champion for the rights of musicians and he's a comedian? Yeah, mwenyewe hata the musicians were saying, when he's doing his parodies, what music does he use? He uses Tanzanian music a lot. Mbona asipromote your Kenyan content yenye anataka ikuwe promoted before he goes ahead and purports to be fighting for the rights of musicians? And it was very convenient how his arrest was captured on a camera that was not even shaking. Yani there was someone who was standing somewhere na haogopi hata karao, kwa hiyo scaffold yote yeye ako tu hivi, hata haongei, ako tu intact. I don't know. It just raises so many questions from my end.
What are you trying not to tell us? Eshuchi, what are you picking from Nyanduko's opinion on this matter?
Let's just say when you lie to people sometimes and lie to some people all the time and forget that you can't lie to all people all the time, that usually happens. He's been controversial enough, and right now I know one thing that stands, especially for me, is there's nothing I don't expect from him, and of course that also comes with my lack of subscription to whatever he does at all costs. In fact, he could be championing a very good cause, but I think I shut him up. For me, I shut him up because, first of all, even if his agenda is right, why does he have to start by abusing everyone on social media, attacking innocent people? Unajua, mse amekaa kwake anasikia Eric alishamtag place anamuita mjinga, with all the insensitivity coming around. And trust me, the insensitivity, I think that was the worst part. Coming at someone like King Kakabana, someone who's just recovering from some serious space of health, coming at him, it's a lot. And maybe people want to call it cloud chasing and all that, but it should be someone who should be considering to even bring on the men's den. That guy could be under depression. But anyway, the camera was not moving. Now that Nyanduko mentions it, I see it. So it's possible. It's very possible.
We're just in for another show.
Yani this is Kenya, eh? So we're assuming ati watu wengine wote wanakuanga arrested and the least time unaweza kaa police custody ni 6 hours to count. But Eric somehow conveniently was in there for 2 hours, you know, and he was out after 2 hours. Hata nani chairman, the self-proclaimed chairman of gospel music, Ringtone Apoko alienda huko kumtoa, alikuwa na cash money 1.5 million, akapata Eric washa left. Anyway,
you know what? Now that you mentioned the ringtone issue, we'll be coming more to cloud chasing, but let's talk about the content right now. And if there's one team that is doing exactly that, this is the Wembe squad. Take a look.
Duru za kuaminika za tuarifu kwamba The Kibiriti Gang wamejirudisha uwanjani.
Shukuru sagod wako sikupata, ni kuitana mgeitana.
Rule number 3, tukipita na msee tunamfinya kwanza, alafu tunawahi do. Finya do.
Mara ya pili jo. Zaini kurab shoulders na magangsters mabazu. Crime law, mafia, deep state mse.
Allah? Yani ni kulala mnalala mkiwa duty.
Allah. With a different flow. Huu ni ushuhuda wangu. Hebu sikiza. Wenda na siku za rudi. Ni kukuruka kara.
I'm pissed off. Bloody gasket. Hiyo tumekataa.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe. But what do you think of Wembe squad, Eshuchi? Coming soon, right there on, it will be actually screening at the, let me just get this again, Anga Cinema Diamond Plaza from the 21st of November, written and directed by John J.J. Jumbi. That's the name. And of course, the tickets will be going for 1,500. Till number tutawaambia as we continue with this conversation. Go ahead. Eshuchi.
I've always said this before. Anything you need in matter of entertainment exists in Kenya, in its prime and on the brink. Like Kenya has it all. Trust you me. And Kenyans are the most hardworking people I know on the entertainment scene. Kenyan fans, Kenyan medias, and Kenyan avenues to distribute content just needs to be deliberate around this. You cannot go and tell us that we don't have content. The other day I was arguing with somebody and just on the music scene to peke yake yani. I was asking them, I gave them like 10 names of people that they've never heard about. Eli, do you know of someone called Winyo Shifton? Do you know someone called Tetushani?
Tetushani, I know Tetushani.
You know someone called you know Fadhili?
Oh, that's my friend Fadhili too.
Very good.
You're talking about
Very
Fadhili,
good.
right?
Yeah, you know Achin 13. You know Sage. You know, of course, you know Max Okelo Max. I can give you like 20 solid Kenyan artists that no one wants to care to listen to. And these people hit on the international market. And one thing that people do not understand, I'm sorry I'm deviating from the movie, this will just be a moment. One thing that people fail to understand, and in my understanding of art, is we tend to buy what the country has exported to us. If Tanzania has decided, you know what, diamond is our best, then the world doesn't have a choice. If you go to Nigeria and Nigeria as a unit decides, you know what, our best here is who? Is perhaps Burna Boy. The world doesn't have a choice because you have the entire block on you. But you see, we are forcing our very cream artists to go out there and sell themselves with zero base on the backyard. Eric Wainaina is doing amazing things. His calendar is full out there. No one wants to talk about him here. Then you want to tell us that our wachezi hiyo movie iko sawa. What them wamesema tu subscribe to the channel ndio tunaweza ongea na kidogo, but the movie is the movie just looks amazing.
Anaitwa Esther Kazungu and she was married the other day. Anyway, my take on the movie Wembe. It is a good blend. It is a very good blend of seasoned actors and new actors. Like I see someone from, who has acted for a while, and I see new faces, and it just makes me happy. Kenya, like Eshuchi has said, Kenya has it all. Like, we have very, very good actors, and the fact that it is actually predominantly in Sheng makes it even more interesting. I understand only 4 to 5 words in Sheng, but the fact that it is in Sheng, which is a Kenyan thing, so basically it's just Kenya for Kenyans, and we are trying to sell ourselves out there. Like the other day, we were saying that when you talk about a Ugandan, if I mention a Ugandan, Eddie, you know who a Ugandan is, because you can, there's something you can pin to them, their accent. If I say a Nigerian, you know who a Nigerian is, right? And that is something that Butita was saying the other day. It is harder for Kenya to sell our content out there, because who is a Kenyan? Ellie, if I say a South African, you know who a South African is. There's something you can relate them to. If I say a Tanzanian, you know what you can relate. Who is a Kenyan? Eshuchi.
Kenyan
is a blend of everybody.
Mkenya ni mgongaji.
No. We're talking about, like, what, apart from kugongana, what sets us apart as a country? Like, what sets our content apart? What is our identity? We're trying to be Western. We're trying to do content that is Netflix, that is CG Hollywood, and it is not even getting there. So kama haifiki level ya Hollywood, what is the point of trying to do it in the first place? So we can actually do very good content, and I like the direction that Wembe has taken, because we can actually do very good content that is Kenyan based, that is our content, and own it and make it our content. So that's a very good movie, in my opinion. In my opinion, I want to say you need to catch that movie. Give us your feedback when you come back, and you can catch it from 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. screening from the 21st of November 2021 at Anga Cinema Diamond Plaza, going for 1,500. The till number that you can buy your tickets on is 5107353. We'll be posting this at the end of the cast, so be sure to catch it on. Now let's just welcome our online family. We have Nancy Magen, who says good tuned in. Thank you so much. Through Fifi Pats anakubaliana kwamba the good initiative, wrong motives, I guess. That is by Eric Omondi. And Kipron, on the other hand, says at this time, it's high time Wakenya mwache kupatia Eric Omondi airtime. He ain't making sense. Aendelee kurukaruka kwa matope tu na ule rafiki yake Marambamba, because he did that pool when he went to Kisi the other day. So the levels that Eric is going to remain relevant are just outrageous. But if this whole kuarestiwa thing was a hoax, it is high time that Kenyans stop kabisa kupatia this guy airtime. Because someone was saying there's a boy who used to cry foul every time, anasema nimeumwa na nyoka mpaka siku yenye aliumwa na nyoka ya ukweli. Sasa no one actually went out there. And if it's actually true that Eric was chasing clout with this story, it is very bad, because there are people who have been we've been fighting police brutality for a while now, and the way the police were handling him was not good in that video. And if that is just for clout, it is a ridicule to people who have actually gone through police brutality. It is not funny. It is just not funny at all.
I agree.
One thing that stands out also this week is you asked me, what do we identify with as Kenyans? And there's one thing I told you that is not one of the best characters to identify or identity to give a Kenyan. It's Kenyans have mastered the art of conmanship. But in this case, there was a con lady, beautiful one. Charlie, did you guys have a look at that by any chance?
Is it a con lady or a con man masquerading as a woman? I don't know.
Can you just try to make it about the man? Eshuchi, tell me your opinion, sir.
I think enough times in my observations, I always get mixed up between creativity and morality. One thing I know about Kenyans is Kenyans are amazingly bright people who are out there jobless. And so people just want to find ways. And you see some of the interesting crimes in Kenya, you find someone was just seated somewhere and decided, you know what, I'm going to hack this bank. Just transfer a few millions to myself. Sometimes it even starts just as a fun, for the fun of it, and then it gets there. I can almost assure you, these things that these people were doing, they didn't see the outcome coming, and that's why they were even not keen to cover their tracks, because it's something that would have gone through so well. I think the guy just decided, you know what, let's try this. You know what, I know how to do this. We can sell this. I have someone who can push this on Twitter, and then it can be a big story. But then he went behind the curtains and did not realize the magnitude of the issue. It's conmanship, yes, but I also think it usually just reminds me of how amazingly bright people are out there, and they're not being used for their abilities. And we instead have people who cannot even sustain some of these things, because this tells you one thing: if someone who you want to assume is not intelligent can come and fool an entire nation into doing something like that, then you want to question this nation that calls itself intelligent. And that's why if you go to first world countries, they will pay anything for intelligence. If the US tells you that they'll give you 60 million if you turn in a thief,
don't start with that.
They're actually going to give you 60 million when you turn in the thief. But here, already our able guy has told, he said in the morning, let us not speculate about the money, let us sort the issue at hand first. Hiyo unajuanga ni kuru umepangwa. So it was conmanship, but I'm afraid I cannot resist appreciating the creativity that was around it.
But
I marveled at it.
We cannot just call it creativity to that level. I believe this is more to our morals. How would you, because the story behind it was that this lady has been left by baby daddy, and she has to find ways that she can support other souls like her that could be in such a situation. She goes ahead.
Do you know that for like 2 years,
including
do you know that for like 2 years we were contributing money to a woman who was working with gas tanks and claiming to have undergone serious surgery na ameamputatiwa mguu na alikuwa anatembea na gas cylinders mbili, and for 2 years we constantly gave money. Nyanduko, do you remember that story?
No. I have not quite caught wind of that.
There's this woman. She really trended sometimes. She went viral actually. Should just sit by the roadside in Nairobi CBD with black dark shades. She was a bit big, and then she had gas cylinders. And apparently the story was she underwent heart surgery, and now she's recovering, and she needed to walk with her air every other time, everywhere she went, and people would contribute. At some point, akafungua paybill number. People contributed in millions because she was apparently looking for money to go for surgery in India. Turns out, woman was fine, very fine, health and kicking.
I honestly think we are a very emotional nation. Like, why? How do we get carried away so easily? We do not even do our due diligence to understand what is. Eshuchi, you're laughing. We are very emotional and we are very philanthropic. We are ready to give. We don't do due diligence. Mtu amekuja tu na some sob story there. Oh, and I'm raising a kid by myself. I'm 20. Let's make it. Kwanza, let me ask Kenyans on Twitter because they claim to be very bright people. Nyinyi mnajua kabisa it's Twitter. A 20-year-old who has joined Twitter I've been on Twitter for 5 years and I do not even know how to write a thread like that. And it's a lady, a 20-year-old girl coming on Twitter and writing a thread that perfect. And you actually buy the story. And you assume it's just this young 20-year-old doing, I don't know, we're just too emotional. The other day we contributed for Alvan. We did not even do a follow-up. Akiulizwa, by the way, juzi alikuwa na kiburi, alisema mwende muulize ule mtu wa bodaboda mwenye nilisaidia na kama kuna pesa yako nimekula. You saw what happened with the motion, and we never learn. We keep giving and giving. I don't know what we are making up for. I think we are making up for our very bad humor and anger issues, but we are just too emotional.
Nyanduko, allow me to indulge you. When we tell this as you know, as a nation, that this is how and what it has become, does it tells you that our systems equally have issues? Because in normal countries, the other day I saw somebody that is trying to become, and if I say somebody, I'll be stoned at this level. Let's say Baba, one of his footprints is to say, tutakuwa tunawapea tao sita to help you cater for issues. But if we had a system that is actually functional, because there's a lot of money that gets collected and never accounted for, would we be having such cases coming and you know, Kenyans have to become philanthropic overnight?
Ellie, if people did due diligence and if someone actually did a follow-up on the monies that are collected, people will not be doing these games of collecting money anyhow. Because Yata Extendela collected money for his campaign. Alafu, he decided, no, I'm not even going to buy anymore. Did not return people's monies, and life went on. So basically, we are a country who forget so fast. Ama, we just have so much
You can't
to give.
fault him. He just had a baby the other day. They are trying to fix the baby issues before they can fix the
And
campaign.
if you have a baby, Ellie, just say I am collecting money to buy diapers. Don't tell people you're collecting money for campaigns. Those are two different things.
I didn't
You see,
actually
Ellie,
collecting money for the baby. I just said he's busy with the baby. Eshuchi.
I think Kenya is a very frustrated people. We've been so frustrated by the people in authority, and in this context, read government, read structures. Of course, it just takes a unit to isolate themselves and then paint the other people the wrong way. Like men can come and paint women the wrong way, women can come and paint men the wrong way. Then Kenyans can come and paint the government the wrong way. A tribe can come and paint the other tribe the wrong way. So the moment you play the victim card nicely, you easily garner the people who are in your team. And they use you as a way to show that, you know what, even if the government doesn't look out for us, we can sort you. Omosh, those guys mistreated you, man, and you are a great actor. We can sort you, we got you. You know, this mama, you've been left by these careless baby daddies around. We are here for you, we can sort you. I think that is the spirit around which Kenyans operate, which, if you ask me genuinely, is not really wrong. And I think there's a flip side to Nyanduko's point of view. Yes, we don't do due diligence here and there, but I also think there is just a space for there is help that is needed, and we're gonna offer the help. It's only that these ingenuine stories have really gone up, and that's why you realize over time now we're starting to become very hard-stoned people. You know, like these days, I don't know how to give a beggar money in town. I do not know, because I do not know how to know when I'm actually helping a beggar. Or, you know, there's one day I gave another mama 50 bob hapo hivyo GPO. 50 bob, she was begging because she had 2 kids on this side, 50 bob, and I had like 250 shillings. So I gave her the 50, then went to a super to pick something. It was like an hour later. I meet this mama in the super bana, anasukuma trolley na shopping yenye mimi siwezi afford. The same mama with her 2 kids. Unaona? Then you're like, okay, so where does it come to? So I think we're getting there. And like Nyanduko says, trust you me, there's a place for very genuine people. There's a time when COVID had hit and artists just went online and said, you know what, I'm going to play some music, please tip me. Straightforwardly. Davido the other day apparently alisema tu manze, I've been making for you guys hits bana. Can you guys send me money? You know, like easy. No accountability, nothing. I know that I probably deserve this, or I can ask this without having to umbrella it with some lies here and there. So ingenuineness is really killing us though. Because they'll get to a time when we'll not be able to help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. At this level, I'm a very scared individual, because we are dealing with a lot of cons. Because, you know, just to touch a little bit more on what you've said, Eshuchi, of these beggars in the city center, I still wonder why they are there so much in big numbers. And normally they shouldn't be there, including young children. Wanakwambia anko nisaidie 10 bob, and they always have a figure that works for them. Apparently, if you do your arithmetics very well, these guys own plots huko Kitale kwa scheme kubwa sana, na wewe unaishi kwa Nairobi.
Comedian YY aliyai tupigia hesabu in one of his jokes, akasema imagine uchokosh amekuja hapo, tuseme ni chokosh mmoja now he was speaking like a broke Kenyan who's so bitter akasema sasa imagine siku yenye hauna pesa unaanza kupiga hesabu za ujinga, unaanza kupiga hesabu ya chokora. Unasema tuseme huyu chokora amekuja hapa kila siku na kila mtu amempatia 20 bob, na kwa siku amepatiwa 20 bob na watu karibu 100. Hiyo ni pesa ngapi? Hiyo si ni around, akapiga hesabu ikafika final akasema hiyo si ni mshahara ya mbunge. Huyo si ni mbunge.
Let's take a break. Wabunge wetu wa town. Let's take a break.
Compatible has to be very intentional, and you have to know areas which as couples you have to work on so that you can build your intimacy. No, you can build your compatibility. Those areas are very area: recreational intimacy, intellectual intimacy, spiritual intimacy, emotional intimacy, and also sexual intimacy. Very key and very important.
And that is the family edition right here on Art and Heart every single Saturday. And I'm here with Eshuchi and of course Nyanduko 254. Wadau, siasa zimepanda moto. How do you see us performing, Nyanduko? Matters politics.
I don't know. The Kenyan political scene. Fifi Pats today. I don't know if to speak Fifi Pats or someone in my contact list said, like, politics is just gimmicks in this country. We just vote for the best actor. So everyone is busy doing their act and preparing their plays very well and mastering their scenes, so that we just do the same thing over and over again. I keep saying that this country, unless we vote better, we just vote differently than we have always voted every other day, we'll keep on making the same mistakes and having the same complaints over and over again. So I really do not have any outstanding opinion about the political scene as is right now, apart from the fact that the other day DP was somewhere and he was using an electrical cherehani that was not connected to any power and was on the different side. Alikuwa hii side wrong ya hiyo cherehani. So basically it's just a wrongly scripted play that needs to be corrected, because if we don't correct it now, we will just vote the same way we always do and then come back with the same complaints 5 years later. I do not have very many opinions about politics.
Talking of the script, Eshuchi, did you realize that there's one failed script that happened about Prison Break? Now back to the Matiangi story.
Yeah, Kenyans. Any we can. You know, I think the sad most thing about Kenya is, and sometimes I think we need to reduce our social media access, and we need to become a slight Uganda, because we have normalized stupidity so much that you can lie to us on our face. We know you lie to us. We know you lying. We know you know that you have lied. But you do it because this is what Kenyans do, and there's nothing that's going to happen. And then we will take a very bitter and a very sad state of a situation and create humor around it, and then just move on. Because no one wants to explain to us how in less than 72 hours, Syria's terrorists have escaped prison. They've been recaptured. The boss has been sacked. Another boss has been reinstated. Investigations are apparently under. There's nothing that is being given out there that is actually clean. Nothing at all. And then you wonder, now, if all these things is happening, if this was the way of doing things, everybody should be out of office in Nairobi for now. Everybody should be out of office totally. Because every other time we've found enough loopholes to send people home. People stay in offices. Then there's one overnight. So you start wanting to dig, what's happening, what's different about this, and in Kenya, there's always a strategy. There's always gimmicks. Like Nyanduko puts it. It's always, even the politicians have become comedians. I think that's why even our comedians are adopting that, or one is learning from the other, because there is no content at all. No one wants to tell you realistic things. No one wants to just come and tell you, man, I'll be able to do this and this. When you tell Kenyans that you want to give them 6,000 shillings every end of month, like seriously, manze. And you actually want to use that as your source of, and another one has wheelbarrows around the place. Really, Bana? Huh?
I saw 2 wheelbarrows to enable ladies to make a living. I don't know what kind of job they were planning to do. Mjengo or skuma. Nyanduko, if you can hear me.
I quite didn't get the question. What was your question again?
Yeah, Eshuchi mentioned about the wheelbarrow guys, and I remember I saw one individual who is a politician. I'm not going to give him too much credit, donating 2 wheelbarrows to 2 ladies so that they can enable themselves to do better in life.
Like I said, Eli, I have said and I'm repeating, Kenyan politics is basically drama festivals. Now that schools are not doing drama anymore, politicians have taken it upon themselves to do drama festivals for us.
To entertain us.
So it is just drama festivals. Let us just hope, may the best team win. I honestly, my opinions about Kenyan politics are just too huku chini. Yani, I hold politicians in very low regard. I have very little respect for politicians in this country. So if I start giving my opinions here, I might get sued. So let me just respect myself and wait for the DCI boss to finish his 4-month sentence and come out. It is just interesting, this country.
Is he planning to actually check into this facility? Do you expect him in committee, Eshuchi?
Everyone is haywire. I think you remember that Luo guy who said everyone should be disbanded and to go. I think Kenya has been disbanded. Everyone is haywire because a court gives a ruling, a court doesn't have the mandate to actually execute the ruling, and then now the ruling is about a police boss, and the executioners are supposed to be the police, and it's just all over the place. I don't know what's going to happen, but to be very honest, afadhali Nyanduko can talk about politics with a straight face. Mimi, I get emotional, and you can see it. It's a topic I just, I avoid it, and there's very little to say about Kenyan politics. And much as we also want to say how lowly we hold our politicians at, I think as Kenyans, we also really need to look at ourselves and say we are really, really silly. And we should really hold ourselves low because we have all these amazing conversations. We talk nicely, we talk big, we want to influence. When we go to the ballots, it's the same as we just start doing, because that politician gets there on a vote, Eli. They get there on a vote.
They don't say that's what happens. Apparently, we vote, but it's not the voter that counts.
I will tell you one thing, Eli. When you vote, if we all vote properly, you know the rules for irregularities usually result from a fair fight where you're like, okay, this person, I beat him, but no, he didn't beat me too much, so I can do a lot of alteration. You cannot change that if people just came out to do a proper vote. If people came out and said, you know what, this is what you're doing. Let me give you a case in hand, and I always use this as an example, and I like it when he came back this time and told people off his page. Boniface Mwangi, there are people who are telling him, Manzes, you run bana, we need to change Tare. And he told them straight face. He told them, I have done everything in the past that, in my opinion, makes me feel I was valid for that seat. I didn't need to prove myself another time. If you did not vote for me once, forget about it. I am not vying. I will never vie. And if you want to ask me, that is just the way to go, because you have easy candidates. You have candidates now, enyewe. Even if we don't have a taste of what good leadership is, at least we can see attributes that we can anchor ourselves on and say, you know what, this is somebody we could actually gamble on or bet on. But you don't do that. You go for the popular vote, like Nyanduko said, the popular person. Oh, who is everyone talking about? The fear of missing out. Eli, what does politics say in your area? Oh, this is the person that we are taking. Hey, I'm not sure about him, but if he's the one that people are taking, then let's do it. It's like you're so desperate to have your vote count, you don't care on who it counts.
Well, I am told, in my opinion, that it's no longer about the vote that counts. It's about the counting. The one that is counting the vote that counts. I don't know if it makes sense in any way. But then again, it's a story and debate that will not end here tonight. Guys, another story that has touched me is of this young lady who went to Maju. Apparently, he has a kamubaba or a boyfriend, 21 or 20-year-old, with 100 and something millions in their account and cannot explain. Akapigiwa simu, hey, we can see your money in your account. Can you be able to account for this money? Galdem says, I'm studying for my exams. When I come back to the country, we can have that conversation. What do you make of it, Nyanduko?
I am actually having Sijini connection issues. I'm getting a very broken story. So Eshuchi, go first as Eli tells me what he's talking about. I don't know what Eli is talking about. What are you talking about, sir?
Will you the story, Eshuchi?
Eli is talking about a story of this campus student, 21-year-old, I think, who apparently has in tunes of 100 millions plus in her account. And she claims this is money that was sent to her by her boyfriend, from Germany or something, or Berlin. I'm not so sure.
The specifications are not yet out, but however, it's from Maju somewhere. She's somewhere here close to me. I'm trying to find her contact.
Yeah. There's only one thing. There's only one thing I need to say about such things. If we start going through the road of dealing with things from the outcome section, then we're missing the whole point. Everyone is doing whatever they're doing to get around this life, and that is okay. You know, you could have your money, and these days, like kwanza mimi nasemanga, I think the last person who should ever try to question people about their way of making money is the Kenyan government. Na sisemi kwa ubaya, especially because they don't give people any jobs, they don't provide environments for people to do proper businesses, they don't enable people to actually prosper. But they want to question your ways of living. They want to question your decisions. They want to question your financial situations. I find that so counterproductive in terms of the moral outstanding. But what I need to say is have systems that can actually give you answers and give you proper course for investigation. Don't speculate, because that's all everybody is doing. It's like tomorrow, if I wake up and I have 100 million shillings, because you do not have evidence, you do not have a reason. I have not wronged anybody. I have not made any funny movements. There's no funny transactions going around. You now want to come at me and want me to account for it. You've not given me a job. I am hustling around. You know, have reasons, have causes. Say, you know what? This lady has 100 million shillings in her account. One of the transactions came from this person who is suspicious of this and this and this, this and this and this. Therefore, we have reason to feel like we need to investigate this. But you don't just go prying on people just because, you know what? Yeah, she has 100 million shillings. So what? Yes, I know it's questionable, but what are you doing to validate your claims to the money? Or are you just going for after someone's money? So yes, it's a two-way sword for me. It's questionable that the girl has money, but if she says she has a rich boyfriend who sends her that money, who are you to dispute that when you don't have proper investigative structures to actually raise validation as to why you need to dig into that?
But don't you find that funny? Because to the best of my knowledge, the banking and the anti-fraud, policies that we have in our country, they give banks and the guys in charge of these transactions possibilities and powers to actually investigate and look out for some suspicious kind of transaction. Did you know, Eshuchi, if you want to transact 1 million Kenyan shillings, that's about 10,000 USDs, you'll need to give a lot of explanations as to why you actually send that money.
Exactly,
and some of us, like Matasi and I, can sit here and spend 1 million shillings while seated. So I don't know why do we look like we are coming from utopia all of a sudden.
And that's exactly my point, because you see every issue that is raised in Kenya, or at least to the best of my knowledge, raises underlying issues, because you want to ask yourself, why are you not questioning whatever happened before this happened?
Yeah.
Yes, you're telling us a girl has 100 million in her account. The right question is, who actually, who made these transactions? Who was in charge of these transactions? What
Why
bank
was
is
the
involved?
transaction made also?
These are the people to be asked. Actually, why didn't the questioning happen? Now you want to ask a girl why she has 100 million. You have no cause for that, and now you want to make it the girl's problem. I just find that ridiculous. It's the same thing about that thing I was saying about KRA. They have nothing to show off about anything. Now they want to look at you on social media and decide this one is not paying tax and the way they are living. What sort of reasoning is that, man?
And we are not preempting anything, and that's why we say in our own opinion, right? That if this lady has the 102 million in her account, and then all of a sudden we are all very curious about where the money is coming, and the boyfriend is providing, we do not question that person that was just passing, hana shughuli, passes by, and then ambia, by the way, unaweza supply air oxygen, kuja shughuli ya KEMSA 20 million plus. And we have no questions about how money arrives in there. The guy was just having a free day walking, lazing around.
Yeah.
Nyanduko. Nyanduko is struggling, eh?
Mimi, I think my connection has decided that this is where I end the show tonight. It has refused completely. I can't hear you people. So Eshuchi, last week ni Eli
Yes.
alinimalizia show. Leo ni wewe unanimalizia. Good night. God bless. If you can hear any bit of that, because my internet has said adios muchachos. Good night.
You are very clear from this end. I don't know why we are not clear to you. But well, yes, that's Nyanduko, and I think that's where our journey with her ends tonight.
It's tonight,
And
right?
so this is just Ellie and I. Yes, and like we're just summarizing this, and I think I still insist. It's so easy for us to look at the easy fish. It's so easy for us to look at the, and sometimes even the just genuine hustlers, to look at them and then lay a blind eye to everybody else. Money is lost, an entire ministry loses into tunes of billions. We have roads that have been commissioned. There's a road that I saw today had been commissioned into the tune of 55 billion. The only thing on that road is the monument yenye ule jamaa alienda akakata na makasi, but it's still a maram road. Nothing has been done on that road, and you don't want to question things like this. Like our police and law enforcers are so busy, yani they're so busy chasing things that don't make sense, things that are so far-fetched, and there are things at their backyards that are so. By the way, na Kenya ukapata a serious law enforcer, you have cases to start with right at your doorstep, because there are things that are just plain truth. We need to investigate this and find out this happened, but no one is looking into that. But then you see a college student akona mita 100, hasa sijui ni KRA ndo wanataka hiyo pesa, sijui someone has vested interest in that money. But anyway,
Are you sure? I can see every sort of arrows pointing towards 2022, that we must get money from all holes that exist. And again, it's neither here nor there, but Nadia Mukami hitting 1 million in 10 days after releasing her new jam. I don't know if you've had a wind of that, Nani, Eshuchi, and how does this make you feel as an artist, seeing Nadia Mukami and of course that was with Major pairing up 10 days ago. Saizi ngoma yao Legeza is having 1 million plus views on YouTube.
I don't know. I don't know much about the songs. Sijaisikiza sana, so I wouldn't want to give my opinions on it. And as a creative as well, these usually are my areas of reservation. But one thing I know, this I'll say point blankly, we might not agree on the type of music and all that, but I still strongly feel that Nadia Mukami is one of the genuinely really hardworking musicians that I know of, especially on the female sect. Quite hardworking, quite consistent, and always up on the grind. And so I wouldn't be surprised that her song would make that kind of a hit. And perhaps also, you see, in 2020, Major was voted the biggest, the king of collabos. There's hardly any collabo you'd find, any big collabo that you'd find without Major. So I'm assuming the combination of these two big wigs, it was imminent. The song was designed to just really, really, really be a big hit. But if you're speaking of it, I don't know why this is tipping you off. Bien amechapa ngoma na Ronrongai inaitwa Mbwembwe. And I think in less than a week we are closing it almost at an M. It's honestly my current favorite jam. That song is everything. Yeah. So I just think everyone is trying to get their own around the music scene, and interesting changes are happening. Sauti Sol broke up, and now, okay, wow, that is so wrong. It didn't come out right. They went into their separate ways to do what they call alone together. Each one of them is going out to do projects. I can see there's a hit by Fancy Fingers coming alongside Nyashinsky. Nani Bien has already done 2 songs, The Baldman, and then there's this Mbwembwe. I'm waiting to see what Savara has, and then perhaps Chimano as well. So that's what has been happening on that side. I know on the other side, we also have, like you're saying, there's Nadia Mukami. There's a new hit that I also noticed by Nyashinsky has an EP, an album actually, called, what is it called? It's called Lucky You. Quite
Lucky
an
You, yeah.
interesting one as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot that's going around, and that's why Manze, this one is coming from a very personal space. As you're going out there yapping and being loud at how Kenyan artists you are melala, you are funny, really dig into what these people are doing, because Kenyan artists are not sleeping and they're doing their best out there. And I will repeat what I once had one of the biggest artists saying, that Kenyan artists see it hawana content. But when they do content related music or content filled music, you don't listen to it. It's only until they do stupid stuff, vulgar music, that you get to listen to it. So then, because they want to pass, they want to make it, they have to stoop to that law of contentlessness, to have you listen to their music. And now you want to judge them based on that. Go dig into these artists. We have Fadili, we have we have Tetu Shani, we have Noel Nderitu is out there doing amazing stuff. We have Chugi Mulamba. Yes, we have Okelo Max, a lot of artists out there. And of course the big with Nyashinsky, Ben Sol is also working on something. And these are people you need to go and listen to. Kazini, the band, has an amazing name. Then we have this amazing group, Wanavokali. Wanavokali actually have dropped their EP, the one they've been working on. Very amazing music. So nguvu ya kusema eti sijui Kenyan musicians hawana content, mimi sijui mnatoa wapi. Because if you were to name for me serious 10 bongo artists, I can name for you double that Kenyan artists. You bring a list of your serious 10 Nigerian artists, I'll give you serious 10 Kenyan artists. Why don't they get airplay? You want to tell me they don't have content? No, you're not supporting your own. You're supporting other people and expecting our artists to all of a sudden, just from nowhere, have the kind of viewership and the kind of selling that is going out there. I repeat this to the Kenyan fans. The world buys what you export as a country. If you pick up an artist and say, you know what, this is our artist, these are our artists, and you actually umbrella yourself around them, the world is gonna buy them. That's what Nigeria did with Burna Boy. That's what Bongo did with Diamond. That is what that's what South Africa is doing with Amapiano and all these people. They are creating a wave around their musicians. But we have musicians, they are doing their best. In fact, they're received more internationally than they are locally. You don't even know them. Then you come here.
That reminds me of this joke that Eddie did, and it was really funny that he went and he was arriving, and that's actually Eddie Butita, right? I'm talking about. We actually showcased one of the clips from his company there, and he was arriving at the airport. And at the airport, he was getting some interviews, and he was being asked, "So, what's the plan and all this?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm not planning to collab with anybody, but we'll talk with the management. So, are you excited to be here?" He said, "No, the Kenyans are excited to see me." So, it was just giving the rhetoric, the irony of how we perceive these outside influencers, if I call them entertainers, and like how we the recipients of what they are bringing actually we put them on a pedestal and look like they are the kings and they own. But there's one thing today. I was at a client's today in working on my job, and then I saw a Kenyan flag, a wristband actually. There was a photo, and under the photo it had the black, white, and red, black, white, red, green colors of our flag. And I was curious, so I moved closer, and I saw in the photo the subject had a wristband, and it was the Kenyan flag. So I was very sure this was Kenyan flag. Then the writing there was in English, "Thank you," in Swahili, "Asante," and then in Dutch, which is the language we speak here, was written "Dank you well." Of all the things I saw that day, which was today, what stood out for me was the Kenyan flag. And it reminded me something, that you can only know the importance of who you are when you are in a foreign space. You can only know the importance of what home means to you when you are a foreigner elsewhere.
Totally.
No wonder there's a song that says, "I'm an alien in New York." You've heard about it. So this made me proud the moment of seeing just a flag in a foreign space with somebody who knows nothing much about Kenya except that they are a researcher and they were doing something on the Rift Valley and all that. Because I saw that, I was like, this is interesting. So what is my point here? That until we become proud of what and who we are, we can never see the real value of who we are as a people. And that's my parting shot. Eshuchi, tuambie mwisho.
My parting shot will be very quick, and mine is statistical. Jerusalem, the serious hit that happened in South Africa, the challenges, the Jerusalem challenge was done most in Kenya than any other country in the world. Kenya did the most challenges. We had people, even cleaners doing that challenge. Even a bank could stop its operations for its staff to go out there and do that challenge. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying we have amazing Kenyan music that could also get onto something like that. Zuchu's Sukari was a big TikTok hitter when just before release. The biggest TikTokers and the biggest numbers of that TikTok rendition actually also happened in Kenya. I'll repeat. Before you go out there saying that, Kenyan musicians, this and that, just ask yourself, what are you doing as a Kenyan fan? Tell us why you think we don't have content before you go out there and start saying that about the Kenyan music. So it starts with us. And like you're saying, it all starts here. You support our own, no one's going to find a reason to not support our own. It's as simple as that.
And therefore, I want to leave you with a song. The song is very emotionally romantic, but I want you to convert this song to the romantic and patriotism that you have as a Kenyan to your country, Kenya. Until next time, see you tomorrow on the Family Edition with Coach Collins Bolo. My name is Likuyani Eli, and on behalf of Eshuchi Lumumba and the rest of the team that made this broadcast a possibility, including Yanduko 254, have a great night and weekend ahead. Ama namna gani tumeka funga, and of course, God bless you guys.